Kia ora and welcome to Beer Jerk's Beer Club. I'm Luke, and this week we are doing the same thing we do every week and have done for well over 10 years now. We are drinking a wonderful beer from a fantastic independent brewer and having a little bit of a chat about it. So we love bringing you beers that are not very common, a little bit hard to find, small batches, always from great independent breweries with cool stories. Which brings us all the way to Kaiapoi in Christchurch this week. So the story of Chinchiller and beer starts in around 2017. So Granville and Nadine started importing homebrew equipment into New Zealand, and especially little mini kegs for dispense. And after a few years of that, they ramped things up with the whole homebrew world and opened the Homebrew Academy, which was an amazing spot that introduced probably thousands of people to homebrewing and was a great resource and place where people buy equipment and ingredients and brew and learn about brewing and do courses and workshops there, which was sort of what put COVID somewhat put a spanner in the works when that hit in 2020, because people couldn't really go out and couldn't go to the Homebrew Academy to do brewing courses. So quick pivot, and they got into releasing lots of beer that went down pretty well during COVID, when lots of people were drinking a good amount of beer at home. So they were contract brewing at their friends' breweries, packaging beautiful beer into cans, sending it all around the place. And did a really great job with some really innovative beers back then, cool branding. A lot of their branding is around splotches, which I think is a really cool design concept, just around if you have a little blotch of beer, a little bit of a spillage on the table, and they just have taken those into the branding for a lot of their core range, and a lot of their imagery is around blobs, so it's kind of a Rorschach sort of situation there. You can see what you might see what you see in the blobs, and during that time they released a pretty cleverly named beer called My Wenis that became really popular, which maybe you remember, maybe you blurred out all of what happened during the COVID days, but remember people had to touch elbows rather than shaking hands or kissing. And of course a Wenis is another word for elbow. So that became quite a popular beer during those days. And then fast forwarding a few years after that, they moved into the really beautiful Five Peaks Brewery facility, which is right on the river in Kaiapoi, just outside Christchurch, which was going empty after being crowdfunded. Actually, there was a huge crowdfund that Eagle Brewing did, so loads of individuals invested in that business, and then the crazy owner just blew it all to bits by being crazy. So Eagle's loss and the loss of all those investors was the gain of people that now want to enjoy a beautiful beer in Kaiapoi. So there's the platform brew pub that you can go to, and then the brewery is operated by Granville and Nadine and their crew, and cranking out lots and lots of really interesting beers and lots of cool seasonals. So yep, they do some great hazes. Their GC is another really cleverly named and really popular core range beer. And they do some more unusual styles as well, which, as you know, I always love to see, including this one. So this is a series, so it's the Pucker Up series. So I've tried a couple of these, and yeah, I love it when breweries do a series, and it's nice that they can lean into a bit of a theme, and also I suppose it saves a lot of work, which is a huge cost of brewing, in coming up with new artwork and concepts and names. And also with a series, you kind of know what to expect. If you love their raspberry version, then you're probably going to love their blueberry version. So it's a really fun way just to take a really great recipe and successful idea and keep refreshing it, because us craft beer drinkers love variety. So this is the blueberry version. The base beer is Berliner Weisse. So that's one of those really cool historic beer styles that pretty much went extinct until craft brewers and nerds started reading up on history books, and thanks to the likes of Michael Jackson, that did so much great work for all these European beer styles with his amazing writing and reporting. So yeah, there's a brewery, Berliner Kindle, that you may have heard of if you've been to Berlin, and yeah, it is a wheat beer, but it's lower ABV. So normally wheat Berliner Weisses are around 3-4%, and just tart, normally slightly acidic. Often it's a mixed fermentation, so there'll be some bacteria in there as well as the yeast, and it's a complex, layered, refreshing tart beer. And the addition of fruit and adjuncts isn't especially new or novel, really, because that's what they've done for years. So traditionally, at Berliner Weisse, you would have a syrup that you pour in there. So traditionally, you'd have raspberry syrup or woodruff syrup. Really fun to try these beers that actually, yes, as I say, this purple blueberry beer is not that crazy, because when you add raspberry syrup to a traditional Berliner Weisse, of course it's bright red, or woodruff makes it this really unusual green colour. And traditionally Berliner Weisses are served in a bowl type glass, like a goblet, so you can just really see the lovely gem-like colours of the beer, which is really good fun. And Berliner Weisses, I actually read that they became popular in the 17th century, and you probably do know about champagne, them being referred to as the Champagne of the North by Napoleon's troops when they were in northern Germany, and just the perfect beer for Northern European summertime, really. Just really slakes the thirst, really smashable, tart, really moorish, really dry finish. And you may be asking me, Luke, isn't this contravening the Reinheitsgebot? Because it's brewed with wheat and not just malted barley. But no, because the Reinheitsgebot is not a German purity law. It was a Bavarian purity law. So Germany wasn't even a country until about 150 years ago. So this style of beer, Berliner Weisse, was brewed in Berlin. So that's Brandenburg, Prussia. So yeah, the nation of what we now know of as Germany was different individual kingdoms and principalities and duchies, I suppose. So yeah, this was in a whole other nation where they did not have to worry about the Reinheitsgebot, Bavarian purity laws. So a pretty different beer scene happening up there. But onto this beer specifically, it is all those things that I've been talking about. It's smashable, it's refreshing, it's tart, it's really moorish, it's dry, it's effervescent, it's sparkling. It's really full of flavour. It's got the lovely blueberry juiciness. It's got the aroma, but it's dry on the finish. It's not that there's no nothing really clings. It's not cloying in any way. It's not got the sweetness of the berries, because of course the yeast would have eaten all the sugars present in the blueberry pulp that went in there to make for a dry beer. So a really fun beer that just does keep you coming back for more. So yes, it is the middle of winter right now. I very much realise that. But beers don't necessarily need to have seasons. I enjoy drinking a beer like this in winter. Maybe not at 11 p.m. As I'm getting ready for bed. It would be something a bit more malty. But yeah, when the sun's shining, it's fantastic to drink these refreshing beers, especially after a tough day mowing the lawns or at work. So yeah, it's enjoyable that some breweries are putting these out year round rather than only in the summertime, which is a real treat. And it's got the sharpness, the acidity. So yeah, like I was saying before, kind of a really perfect base beer that would be delicious just to have it as an unadorned base Berliner Weisse, but also so fun to add all these different adjuncts to. So yeah, pucker up. Really fun series of beers from Chinchiller. So look out for more of them. And if you're in Christchurch, if you're lucky enough to live in that beautiful city where there's so much great beer, it's a really fantastic city. And not in Canterbury, actually, there's so much great beer around there. And not much of it gets up to the North Island in general, let alone us in Auckland. So yeah, I really love getting some of these beers around the country to you awesome Beer Club subscribers. Get along to the platform where you can try loads of their beers. And if you're planning a holiday, then obviously get down there. And yeah, Chinchilla do a lot of small batch beers and one-offs. So yeah, we probably should get some more Chinchiller beers in, because I think this may be the first time we have featured them in Beer Club. So thanks to the Chinchiller team for making a beautiful beer. Thank you all for joining along with us this week for yet another drink along. And I will see you next time. Cheers.